Boom. Yes. Yes. We are here. We are live. It is a special election day 10 drink minimum for everybody out there who's surviving. Johnny has red mittens on. The chair is against the wall. Um, we didn't have a show last Sunday because of the holiday. It was Halloween, and that's okay. Holly Ann, let me do this real quick. But we didn't have a show because of Halloween. Holly Ann has a baby, and then she has a small child, Danny, and I just can't imagine making Holly Ann come do the show when the kids need to be out there trick or treating and all that fun stuff. So, but it's the election day. The polls are now closed. It is 7:01. The polls are now closed. You can no longer drive over and get in line. If you're in line already, then I guess you can still vote, but the polls are closed. So now we're going to find out finally if we get a new stadium or if that gets shot down, who will be the mayor, and then several bond issues that I read about a third of them through and went, whatever. Blah. I know that's terrible, but man, sometimes those things are super wordy. Just saying. So I want to throw it out there. Special election show. Sound off. Sound off if you want on voting for the new stadium. If you want in the comments, you don't have to. But if you want to, I mean, I'm sure it was a very, very impassioned project. There's a lot of people who are for it. There's a lot of people that are against it. I saw a pictures and video of a large gathering of people saying "Stop the stadium," and they were chanting. I could hear them from my house. That was pretty interesting. Sometimes you live, you're living history, but I don't really, I mean, a stadium getting built isn't. I guess it's Albuquerque history, but pretty interesting. I'll look back and be like, hey, I remember when that got voted in or that got voted down. There's my mom. Hello. Let me explain something. Growing up in the Burnett household, election day has always been a very big deal. My family was, and I know we don't talk politics on this show very often, but my parents were always like very passionate about, getting out to vote. Um, you know, they give a lot of money to a lot of candidates during election season. They donate money. Um, they're very passionate about it. They watch CNN pretty regularly and like stay pretty up to date on everything. And I kind of grew up in that same thing. So for me, the national election, I don't really like to get into all that. It's a little too crazy. But when it comes to local election, like what is going to affect me, what is going to affect my friends, I think that that's definitely a big deal. Now, with the stadium, I'm not going to say what I voted for, but I was very torn. Like I've never in my life walked into to vote, and I could have voted either way. That has never in my life ever happened. Never, ever, ever, except last Tuesday when I went in and early voted. Up until I took the pin and I filled in the little circle, I literally could have voted either way. I love the United. I'm a huge fan. I have season tickets for next season. I have, several scarves, blankets. Big fan. Peter Travisani, great dude. Lucas Cash, great dude. I've met several people in the organization. No one has ever like treated me like not. I'm not saying not in a bad way, but sometimes you like, you get into a machine like that and like people kind of just like go, oh, hey, huh, oh, cool. Hi, you are. Okay, cool. Thanks. Anyway. And no one was ever, 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 ever like that in the United. So everybody's a class act. Now with that, if this goes through and they build this stadium, where they propose to build it is literally eight to 10 blocks away from my house. 8 to 10 blocks from my house. Now, everybody's like, well, that'll make your property value go up. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Because I'm a homeowner. Absolutely. But I have downtown, we have a really amazing community, and I have a lot of friends who live down here, and they do not have, the things that I have, and they can't afford to buy a home, but they live down here in the community that we live in. And if they build that stadium where some of them live, they would actually not be able to live there anymore. Some of them because it would go right where their house is, right next door to it. Others because they live across the street. Some because they live blocks away. Yay, there's Eric. Eric Carter Landine's in the chat from True Consequences podcast. Big deal. And Dos Pequeños. But, this is one of the first times in my life I was torn. People, they're always like the undecided voter. And usually you're like, how, SNL made a great skit about it where they made fun of like an undecided voter. They're like, what is a president? And I thought that was pretty accurate. But for the first time in my life, I walked into that booth and I had no idea which way I was going to vote. I was like, well, I could go this way and I could go this way, and, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm kind of interested to see what happens. But Eric, how do you feel? Eric Carter Landine's in the chat. How do you feel about the new stadium? I mean, you can say, you don't have to say how you voted. Hopefully you did vote. Otherwise, you're dead to me. Dead to me. Just kidding. But I was really torn, man. I finally found out what it's like to be torn on like whether I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so Eric Carlandine said he has mixed feelings, but he did vote. Well, good for you. It's a tough one, man. Because like, does our city need a stadium? Do we need a place where we can go and hang out, like for concerts and for soccer games and for they put weddings on it. They said, okay, a little knock on the United. Some of your arguments are a little bit goofy. Like the stadium could be used for weddings, and I'm like, who in the hell is getting married in a soccer stadium? I mean, I'm sure it happens. Sure it does. I gotta wonder if the wife or the fiance, the female or the lady, well, not female, I'm not even getting that. Never mind. But I have to say, both people are into soccer that much. But putting that as one of your arguments for weddings, I thought that was pretty hilarious. Farmers markets, it's like that's another ridiculous also like argument, because where you want to build the stadium is right next to the rail yards where they have the huge rail yards market. So you're going to have the farmers market at the stadium and the growers market at the rail yard. I don't know. Goofy. But we do need it. I really will say this. I just really wish that it would have been more thought through on the location. And I know that they did. I just don't. I don't know. I mean, do I want to be able to walk to a game? Yeah, absolutely I do. But do I want my friends to not be able to live like anywhere close to me because of it? No. But, I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole deal. But so sound off in the chat how you guys feel about it. I'm going to tell a story because I have some stories from the weekend. I'm going to teach people, especially people who do not live in New Mexico who are listening to this podcast right now. I am going to teach you some of the differences between Albuquerque and Santa Fe. When people come to New Mexico, there's like the three big places they want to go is Albuquerque, Santa Fe, and Roswell. Well, first of all, no offense to people living in Roswell. I know all about Crazy Town Roswell. No need to, attack me in public or, physically assault me in any way, shape, or form. But when somebody comes to town and like they're visiting and they're like, we're going to rent a car and we're going to drive down to Roswell. And every time I'm like, do you know someone that lives there? And they're like, no, the aliens. I'm like, oh man, and then I toil over it, and I'm like, if I like them, I'm like, I can't stress enough. I cannot stress enough how it's not worth it. A 3 hour drive from Albuquerque to Roswell to see a McDonald's shaped like a UFO, and then a museum that takes about 5 minutes to walk through, and it's like paper mache, ridiculous bullshit. And just saying, just getting it out of the way for people who are like, man, I can't. It doesn't look like the TV show Roswell. It's not lush and green. If you, I grew up in eastern New Mexico, and they say there's an alien Dunkin' Donuts. There's an alien at Dunkin'. Okay, an alien at the Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, so if you've ever been to eastern New Mexico, which I'm from, it's rolling plains of brown grass and wind. There's no lush trees and forests that they run into and the aliens fly down upon them. It doesn't look like that at all. If the aliens really crash landed in Roswell because they were like, let's land somewhere where there's no trees, and that's why. Now, so my friend and I, this is a story about Santa Fe, but it's going to tell you the difference between people from Santa Fe and people from Albuquerque, because people always assume that we're a lot alike, and we are not. We couldn't be more apples and oranges if you tried. Santa Fe, like when I was a kid, it was this amazing, like spiritual, cool place, kind of like Taos. And then, Shirley MacLaine found it, and Oprah found it, and Demi Moore, and whoever else. And now it's a completely different place. So my friend Stu and I are like, he's like, you want to go see the Heartless Bastards in Santa Fe on Halloween night? And I've seen the Heartless Bastards 5 times, now 6. And I'm like, I don't really have anything going on. And, it's at this brewery where everybody's like, I've been hearing a lot of like, you hear rumblings about a place. And then, sooner or later, you're like, well, I guess I'll go check it out. So it's Heartless Bastards Sunday night at Tumbleroot Brewing, right? So anyway, so if in Albuquerque, if you go to a show, it is almost impossible to find someone who doesn't already know who that group is and is already a fan. I mean, if it's a local band, it's like their family, and then like the people who've seen them, and then like you just don't really walk, like people who saw them open for someone else and then now like them and go. If a touring band is coming through, you'll go to a place and everyone knows who they are. No one in Albuquerque I know would pay over $10 to go to a show of a band they don't know who it is. No one I know would do that. And that's just an Albuquerque thing. It is. So Stu and I go to Santa Fe. We walk into this place, and it starts, people start filling in. And, well, first of all, all right, well, I'll tell this. Okay. So people start filing in. Several people around us are like, they hear us talking and they go, okay, so you guys know this band? And we're like, yeah, the Heartless Bastards. This is like their new record came out. They have 6 albums from Austin, Texas. And they're like, oh, right on. Well, what kind of music are they? And I'm like, oh, you don't know the band? And they're like, no. And it was like $25 a ticket. And I'm like, so you're seeing this band, you've never seen them. And I mean, we talked about 4 different groups of people who were there, who had no idea who the band was. And the place filled up. And I was blown away. By people were just like, oh, there's a show at this bar and there's a band there. Let's go. And it's just like not the same way here in Albuquerque. People just don't do that. Nobody does that. I mean, it's rare. Like you would go that's the thing. People will walk up to a place if there's live music and they don't know who it is. They're like, is there a cover? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, oh, never mind. And they'll walk away. And that's how Albuquerque is. It just is. We're very cheap. We go to the shows we like, and you don't just go, oh, there's a show somewhere for $25 a person. Let's couple up and I'll roll in and hopefully it's a good show. I've never ran into that in my entire life. But that's how Santa Fe is. So my friend Stu and I show up. So doors were at 6:30, right? So we're driving up from Albuquerque. It's about a 55-minute drive to Santa Fe. And then, we had to take the relief route because driving in Santa Fe is very painful. It's very old city and the streets are small and you get a lot of traffic, fills up. And anyway, we get there. So we leave 5:30-ish, a little before 5:30. So we get up there. Keep in mind, this is a place called Tumbleroot Brewing. They're a brewery. It's a Sunday. I've never known of a brewery to not be open on a Sunday unless the pipes burst or some horse shit like that. I don't know. So we get up there and we get there at 6:10. Doors are at 6:30. But we get there at 6:10. So we're 20 minutes early for this show. And I'm like, well, we'll walk in and we'll order a beer and we'll just hang out until the show starts. Or so we thought. So we walk in and this guy walks up to us and he goes, guys, the doors are not till 6:30. And we're like, oh, okay. And he's like, but you can hang out here. And like, this is a brewery. It's like, it's got an indoor and it's got a huge patio and there's a bar outside on the patio. And there's a woman behind the bar. And I'm thinking like, all right, we'll just walk over and we'll, get a couple beers and we'll just chill out and wait for the doors to open. Or so we thought. So we walk up to the bar that's outside. And to the left is a huge menu with multiple IPAs on it. And then one lager and a red ale. And we're just looking at the board. And this woman behind the bar goes, guys, doors are not till 6:30. And if you could, please give us some space, please. And we're like, okay. I mean, we're like, there's two of us. That's it. We're the only two other people in there than the people that are working. And I say in there, we're outside on the patio. We're looking at the sign. We're not even up at the counter. She has a whole big bar between us. Just give us some space. And we're like, for lack of a better term, we're kind of verklempt. We're like, what? So we wouldn't let that go because that's how we are. So we just kept saying, you give us some space all night long. And this woman, all night long, was like, I don't know what her deal was. I don't know if they made her work on Halloween or she was upset. I don't know what the problem was. But all night long, she was like, if we had cups on the table, she would come over and aggressively pick up the cups. And I just wanted to be like, whoa. Could you give us some space, please? We're trying to enjoy the show. I just wanted to say that so bad. But it was really crazy. So we end up going back out in the parking lot and waiting. And then people start to form a line. And we get in line as well. The doors did not open at 6:30. They opened at 6:45. Just saying. They needed a lot more space than apparently we were prepared to give them. I don't know. Man. And then, how was the beer? The beer was, ugh. When I walk up to a place and they have 4 IPAs, 4 different kinds of IPAs, and then one lager and one other beer, and then a sour, I have to wonder, were all those meant to be IPAs? I don't brew beer. I don't do that. All I'm saying is if you mess up a batch of beer, hop it up and say it's an IPA. I'm just saying 4 different IPAs. And can we cool it on the IPAs, man? Can we cool it? Are they selling that well? Are people just chugging the crap out of IPAs? I don't know. I'm tired of them. I've been tired of them for a long time. I can have one every so often, and then it just, ugh. And everybody's like, oh, you're a beer guy. I'm like, I am. But if you have 4 IPAs, I'd like to see your skills as a brewer and maybe, venture out, venture out away from the IPAs. Hey, Eric, you watch yourself. You don't need 4 IPAs. You don't need 4 different IPA choices. You need 2 at the most. 2 at the most. I don't know. Too much, man. Was the beer good? So I got a lager. Didn't like it. Tasted, bitter. Why is your lager bitter? It was very bitter. So then I switched to a red ale, and it came in a smaller cup. Like they had these like little 12-ounce like cocktail style cups, and then the red one came in like a 10-ounce cup, which at first I was like, what the shit is this? But then as I drank it, I was happier that it was smaller because it was really not good. I did not like it at all. And I just couldn't wait to not have it at all. And so then the rest of the night I just drank water. And now, no, that's not making fun of one of the beers. It was, and so I'm like, all right, well, I just heard of this place. I mean, it's been popping up everywhere. So maybe, they're just starting out and like they've got to dial it in. And then I find out they've been open for like 2 years. I'm like, I don't know. So not a big fan. So I don't know. Speaking of beer, I want to talk about something. Man, I really feel like a dumb shit pumping up the Montucky cold snacks. No, not because I don't like them now. Because every time I go to the fucking store, they're completely out. Completely out. 2 weeks in a row. None. I'm drinking Shinerbach. Not that I don't like Shinerbach. But man, everybody's wiping out. I go to a show at Inside Out. Every person's drinking a Montucky cold snack. And I'm thinking in my mind, awesome. There'll be, this will be a staple here. Well, I guess they can't keep up with it because every time I go to the store, completely wiped out. So I fucked up there. Fucked up. But then if I don't and people don't buy it, they're like, well, we just don't have a market in New Mexico. Nobody wants, a nice, drinkable, refreshing beer. And for every fucking asshole that's like, I bought this Montucky cold snack. What's the big deal with it? There's not a big deal with it. It's not going to be like the best beer you've ever drank in your life. It's just going to be a nice, easy, drinkable beer. I drink Pabst Blue Ribbon. I've got Pabst Blue Ribbon on my mind. I drink Pabst Blue Ribbon. And I feel like the Montucky cold snack is a better Pabst Blue Ribbon. So for everybody who like messages me or fucking calls me out on social media and they're like, I got it, don't get it. And I'm like, okay, are you not able to drink it? And they're like, oh no, it's really easy to drink. But there you go. Jesus. Fucking people, man. Several people on social media don't get it. Well, all right. Leave some for me. I'll drink them all damn day. Hashtag influencer. See where we at on the polls? Does anybody know? Anybody have any idea? I don't know what news station site to look at because they're all terrible. They don't ever have like, I'll hear like a fucking, machine gun fire in my neighborhood and I'm like, fuck. And I hear the police and the police will come and then they shoot at the people. And then I'm like, I'm going to look that up the next day and find out what happened. Never can find it. Nothing. Action News. Nothing. So I don't know who to go to look at this shit. I'm on KOB and it says Albuquerque mayoral candidates await election results. So I've got the banner up. Who do you guys want for the mayor of Albuquerque, not downtown? Let's see. Where do we get poll? How do I find this poll results? Maybe I'll type it in. Type in. Poll results. Where the fuck? 2021. Oh, here we go. Live updates. We got live updates. Tim Keller with his white teeth. So far, I've got to subscribe for $1. What is with that shit? Can't you people sell ads? You know? Do I really got to look at that shit all day? KOA TV, maybe they have it because maybe they're Action News enough to have election results. Let's see. No. So none so far. Zero reporting. So we're still, polls have been closed for 26 minutes. Zero reporting. See, that's the problem right there. We have the most fucking technologically advanced computers in the world. And we should have immediately, well, I guess people are still voting. But like you should be able to just blast result like in live, you know. Oh, you can't because people will hack in. Fuck off on that. Eric says he doesn't want really any of the candidates, to be honest. You know, first of all, you got the guy who's like, I'm going to be the first black mayor because he did a 23andMe. What's his name? Fucking Eddie Aragon. He did a 23andMe and he's 4% black or African American. And so now he's like, I'm going to be the first black mayor. It's like, shut the fuck up with that. Like, whatever. I don't know. I don't know him. All he looks like is a shit show. He's like, he owns his own radio station, of which he's a host on. I don't want to get into a fucking, whatever war with him. He'll be on his like, well, maybe I do. He'll be on his like fucking radio station. This guy said I was bullshit. Well, somebody should. Then you've got Manny Aragon. I see this guy, and he's walking out of my dad and I saw him. He's walking out of a place of an eating establishment, no mask, no nothing on, and it's like, you're running for office. I get it. You don't like it, but like, for me, you're supposed to be about the law, but you're not following what's going on. I mean, it'd be, well, it's not the law. You have to wear it. So, the governor has said that you have to wear a mask indoors. This guy's not wearing it at all. So, I mean, why would I want to vote for this guy? But then you have Tim Keller, and Tim Keller spends most of his time at photo shoots and taking pictures in front of shit. And how do you know the mayor's not at something? Because he's not up in front taking photos. That's how. I mean, I'm with Derek. I didn't really want any of them either, So it's like, who am I going to, but I knew I was going to vote for Keller because it's like, whatever, later, Eric, bounce. Eric's got to bounce. Good to see you. So I don't know. But anyway, that's the difference between Albuquerque and Santa Fe. In a nutshell. Now, there's a lot more than that, but that's one of those things. Like, they just go to shows. They're just like, yeah. And first of all, you have that kind of disposable income. You're just like, $25 for me, $25 for my wife. I don't even know what this band. One lady goes, I listen to half a song. Half a song? You listen to half a song. Like, what in the shit, man? Like, if there's a show happening and a bunch of my friends are like, this band is sick, come. Okay. But I don't just like wake up on a Friday or on a Sunday night and go, let's go out to a bar and just see some random band that's traveling through. I don't know. I thought that was some crazy shit. Man, I can't believe there's zero reporting right now. Let's see. Do we have anything on the stadium? I don't see anything on the stadium. Really? Nothing? Oh, man, Jesus. I don't see nothing. Dude, the fucking news here is trash garbage. When there was a protest, I live downtown, like right off of Central, in that apartment, the Black Lives Matter thing spilled over downtown, and like a bunch of people in like black clothing came down and were like smashing windows out, and they had to fire tear gas and rubber bullets. None of the action news was there. None of them were there. None of them were downtown. None of them were filming. None of them were out there. Fucking Marisa DeMarco from KUNM was out there with her cell phone live streaming, and I'm sure they probably stole that from her to go. We have some footage that they don't want to say they paid for it, but the news here is trash, garbage. Just want to say that. Just want to throw that out there. I'm not a huge fan, but as we sit right now, no reporting whatsoever. Let's see. I'll refresh. 30 minutes after the polls close, we have nothing. Awesome. Let me see if I can open up. Let's go to KOB election results. Nothing reported. Oh, for Santa Fe. See, Santa Fe, they have full results. They have that says 0 reporting, but it's starting to show 57% of people are voting for some guy named Weber. Somebody, and then 35% for Vigil Koppler. Oh, I don't know. Santa Fe City Council. I mean, how do they already have and we have shit nothing in Albuquerque. Why? Because our politicians don't give a shit. No election results. Let's see. KRQE. Let's see what we got here. Voting by county. Races to watch. Nothing. Albuquerque Soccer Stadium. They're the only one that even have the soccer stadium bonds on there. They're the only ones that have it. Still 0 reporting. And I know there are people like, well, if they haven't sent it in. Ross Briggs says they're special in Santa Fe. How does Ross Briggs, former intern of the show, how do you feel about voting on the new stadium, Ross Briggs? I'm going to call you out because you're in the chat room. I think your name is H. Ross Briggs Esquire, if that is correct. I'm going to pound another one of these Shiner Box because I can't find Montucky Cold Snacks because you sons of bitches bought them all. But Chris, why are you so angry? I'm like the Hulk. I'm always angry. I'm just kidding. I'm not. But, it's election time. I'm fired up. Who knows, Let's see. See if H-Rock. He says they don't know where they want to build it. They said where they want to build it, Ross. They said Broadway and Cole was their number 1 location, or second in Iron, or the rail yards, and then the 4th location is 12th and I-40, which to me is the best of the 4. Oh, excuse me, I just burp right in the microphone. But they do know. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. So in the places that are options, they don't want it there. Absolutely not. And I know people are like, oh, they don't want it in their neighborhood. No, they don't want it. They don't want their house torn down, not the neighborhood. They don't literally want their house torn down and being displaced. And I get that. I'd like to have a stadium, but I don't want, Well, one of them, it's like Second and Iron. That's like where a homeless shelter is. And it's like, we already have enough problem with that. Killer. It's like, do we really need to displace more homeless people? Do we really have to go right where they're at? I don't know. And I'm could be wrong. I don't know. And there you go. And that's another thing. Ross is exactly right. And the traffic in those places would be horrible. So they want to build it right in downtown Albuquerque, and there is no traffic. There's no good outlet. Like a game would end and it would be just gridlocked for an hour, getting everyone out of there. You'd just be sitting there in your car. First of all, there's no parking at all. Like where they currently play, where the Isotopes are, plenty of parking lots. But downtown there would be 0 parking. Ross says I think they should build it by UNM and ITOP. Right. But see, I think the problem with that is like the UNM owns all that land and they're not going to sell it. They don't want to sell it, and it's and if they do, they probably want way too much money for it. And the people who own the United are probably we don't want to pay, or whoever, the city's we don't want to pay what the UNM wants. And that's what I'm guessing. I don't know. I mean, I want to know why nobody's saying this. I went to an Isotopes game, and there was less than 1,000 people there. I'd never seen so little of people there. So it's how can, and it like felt really weird to me. Like, how can we justify building a new stadium for a different team when the one over here that we've had for like 20 something years can't go over 1,000? Like, they have a stadium that holds like 16,000 people, and they have less than 1,000 there. That's insane. Good remodeling UNM soccer. Exactly. That's another good idea. They have UNM has a soccer stadium. They got rid of the soccer team. Why can't we use that? Why can't we like go in and like build infrastructure around that field already that's like amazing? And I'm sure someone has the answer for that, but I mean, where are they right now? That's my question. I don't know. I just want to know why I show up to a show in Santa Fe at 6:20 p.m., 6:10 p.m., and we can't get a beer at a brewery because they don't open the doors until 6:30, 6:45. And then we're not giving them enough space. I don't know. But you're right. Like, if Ross, that's a real good point. Why don't they build it on the old UNM soccer field? Why don't they tear all that out? Because I'm sure they would gut it. They play there. Like, I went and saw a friendly. I can't remember the team. We played some team from England, and we played there, and it was fine. I mean, it wasn't like you couldn't put 15,000 people in the stands, but they could rip all those stands out and build new ones. And then you don't have to displace anybody. And it's around all the other stadiums. The parking is good because people can park in the Isotopes area where Isotopes shit is, or the pit where that stuff is at. I think you hit it perfect, Ross. But I'm sure someone's going to be like, oh, the reason why is blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. Bunch of shit, if you ask me. I don't know. All I know is we're still at 0%. We're 40 minutes as the polls have closed, and still none election results. None. Not like 1% or 5%. None. Maybe that's an issue here. Let's see. Oh, cool. They want to know my location, so they can send me updates. How about fuck you? 0, 0, 0, 0. I feel like I grew up in the, like during the 80s, like my parents, I would go with them to like election parties because like people used to do that back in the day. Like if you were running for office or you knew someone running for office or you're a big fan, you'd go to their like election party and await results. And I feel like once polls closed at like 7, like within the hour, you would start to see results. None of this 0% shit. And I mean, they were doing that with paper and fucking telephones in the 80s, man. Now we don't have shit. Now we have like the most advanced technology in the world. We have people flying into space just for the fuck of it. And, and we can't get election results in 40 minutes. We can't get like just, any at all. None. It's because all those chips that we're behind on. It's on a shipping container. It's crazy. Ross says because we're peasants. I don't know. They won't tell us till the morning. That's some bullshit. If that's what we got to wait for. Ross, you need to get in. You need to come in and talk to me on the camera. We don't need to know. Fucking A, we need to know. I don't know. Ross, can you FaceTime in so I can talk to you like a person? Let's see what else we got. Here's a better one. When is our city going to get a monorail already? When is that going to happen? That's what I want to know. Monorail. When is the monorail going to happen? We have the art bus. When are we getting the monorail? Talk about something our city really needs. And again, I don't know shit about any kind of infrastructure or how shit works, but I will tell you this. They built the art bus, and the art bus goes from Coors all the way up to Tramway on Central. And everybody's like, well, we need it. All right, well, we had the rapid ride that already did pretty much that. And it's like, hold on, I'm going to send Ross this invite. Ross is going to come in maybe here. We had the rapid ride. And I mean, the rapid ride, I mean, the good thing about, I'm going to say good things about the art bus. The art bus comes every 15 minutes. So, you don't have to like wait 45 minutes for a bus. And that did happen sometimes because you'd get there and the bus would be driving away. And you'd just be like, shit. But I mean, with the art bus, you wait 15 minutes, boom, there it is. Now, with the rapid ride, it take a while, but we had it. Now, what we don't have in this city is our city is very spread out. So if you live on the northern side, like Paseo area, Tramway, you're kind of assed out on a bus or any kind of public transportation. And I know people are going to say, well, why would somebody up on Tramway and Paseo need a bus or public transportation? I mean, there's people. But if you're on the northern side, okay, now if you're on the southern side, really no access to anything. I mean, you have to change buses several times. Now, if we had a rail system that went in a circle, and I'm sure someone's going to tell me how stupid I am, that went in a circle around the outskirts of Albuquerque, like one big circle on the outskirts, you could take a bus to the rail station if you're far away from it, but you're closer to that than, downtown or whatever. You could take a bus to that, or you could, walk to it, drive to it, whatever, ride your bike to it, get on the rail. The rail goes around the outskirts of the town and then has stations like, you say you live in the South Valley, you get on the rail, you take the rail to like Central up on Tramway, get off, get on the art bus and take it up and down fucking Central. And then if you say you don't want to get off there, take it farther, hit Paseo, get off, do whatever you need to do in Paseo, get back on, goes all the way around the city, boom, back home. Like, what? It doesn't seem like that would be, I mean, I'm sure it'd be very expensive, but I mean, if we really give a shit about public transportation, which we should, I think that's a no-brainer, man. Get these people out of cars, You could take your bike on it, skateboard, electric scooter, whatever the fuck you ride. I just think it's a no-brainer. But somebody's going to be like, well, here's what you don't understand. I'm like, yeah, okay. Whatever. See if there's any more election results. We are now 45 minutes after the polls have closed. Let me refresh the page for the latest results. We have none. Zero still. Let's try a different website. I wonder if like the big ones do it. Does CNN do local? Or let's see. Oh, maybe they do. Let's see. Ooh, 2021 key mayoral races. Albuquerque, the largest, this is CNN.com, the largest city in New Mexico has more than 500,000 residents and is the fourth largest city in the Southwest behind Phoenix, Las Vegas, and El Paso. There are 3 candidates in the ballot: incumbent Democrat Tim Keller, who was first elected in 2017, Republican Eddie Aragon, a radio talk show host, and Democrat Manny Gonzalez. I don't know about that. The Bernalillo County Sheriff, Republican Patrick Saez, is also running as a write-in candidate. Like, why? That's the first I've even ever heard of that. And see, here's the shitter too. If none of the candidates get 50% plus 1 vote, then there will be a runoff in December. So we'll have to do a whole nother election in December. And it's like, no. Why? Can't we just say that guy got the most? He won? Can't we just say that? I don't know. Frustrating. I don't know. I just want to see somebody come on here and say, hey, when does our city get a monorail? Monorail? Voting for the new stadium. That's the other thing I just didn't get. And and again, I love the United, and I love, Peter, he's a great dude. I dig him. He's been on this show. I'd like to have him on the show again, Lucas Cash. But I didn't understand, and I guess I could have had him on and probably talked about this. I didn't understand why they wanted a smaller stadium, because like in 2019 when the United started, we were like the second highest in attendance. And the only reason we weren't the highest is because we couldn't fit any more people in the stadium. So now we're going from a stadium that's like 15,000. They want to build a stadium that's like 10,000 to 12,000. I don't really understand that. You got me. Uh-oh. Something's refreshing. Is it election results? Maybe. Maybe we have some precincts reporting. We've got some precincts reporting. We're starting to hear, Alan, that we have some word on the ground that there's some precincts reporting. That election shit drives me nuts. It's crazy to me. I don't know. I got in a fight over on election day. This last year, the November one. Hang out with the woman I was dating, and she came over and she's like, "Why are we watching this?" I'm like, "You don't watch the election results?" And she's like, "No, I find it nerve-wracking." And I'm like, "I would find it nerve-wracking if I wasn't watching it. I don't know." And she ended up leaving. We got in a big fight. Pretty crazy, but that's how my family. I mean, we just always watch the election results. I think when Gore versus Bush, I stayed up till like 4 a.m. watching the election results. Because they were like, it's too close to call. Too close to call. I don't know. Crazy shit. But here we are. Sound off on how or why. What do you want? Do we want a stadium? Are we going to get a stadium whether it's voted on or not is the other question. And why would you say that, Chris? Well, if I was owners of the team and I wanted to build a stadium, the first option I would go with is, let the city pay for it, and and then we'll build it. And and the United put it up some money. They put up like $10 million, I think, something like that. I'm sure someone's going to correct that. I don't know the exact numbers. But, I feel like after reading an article about who the real ownership is, other than Peter Travisani, that like those people can actually afford to build the stadium, whether this goes through or not. But why not let the city pay for it if we can? That's what I feel like was going on. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if this fails, it's done. It's dead in the water. We wait. Maybe the team moves because they're mad. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know the answer. But we'll see. But who do you guys want to be the mayor? Ross, I don't know if I'm going to make it till you get some stuff done. I may be off the air. Who knows? Let me share this again. See if we can get some more people in. But I don't know. I've had some other things. I should write things down. I'm really bad about not writing things down. I'm like, I'm going to talk about that shit on the show. And then I'll get done with the show and I'll be like, damn it, I forgot to talk about blank. Blah. Son of a gun. I'm just like mad. I'm like, what the hell? Still, none reporting. 50 minutes after the polls have closed, and we have no reports. Let's try someone else. Ballotpedia. Okay. General election will occur on November 2nd, 2021. That's today. I don't see anybody. I don't know what the fuck that is. Ballotpedia. Mayoral election. Maybe that'll help. Oh, here we go. Nope. They really have that Patrick Ben Saez on there. Write-in candidate. So how do they know if they don't have any fucking results? How do they know he's a write-in candidate? Like how many write-in votes do you have to get where they go, all right, this is someone's not just like writing in it like not just writing in like some random shit like Stu Trory, like that. And then because if someone writes in one write-in candidate, do they have to put that on there? Is there a certain number? Like if someone gets like, say they get 20 votes, then they're like, all right, we'll have to put them on the ballot. Or we'll have to put them on the results. I just wonder that because there's always got to be some shithead that's like, Philip McCrevis, Buster Cherry, some stupid shit like that. All right, let's see here. Still 0 reporting. Also, I wonder, I mean, you've had this thing in recent years where people have like reported too quickly and called elections too quickly. So I wonder if that's part of it. I don't know. Who could know? Hopefully everyone had a very safe and fun Halloween. I felt it to be a very stressful time. I bought candy and then I ended up going to that show and I felt bad. And I was like, well, if there were kids that came up, they didn't get any candy from my house, but I have cameras all the way around my house and they never went off. So no kids came up to my house. So that's kind of sad. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if I made it inviting enough. There's only me and 2 other houses like right here. So maybe we're not a neighborhood that they look at and go, oh, let's go, I don't know. But also my dog would have went crazy and like barked at them and like scared kids. And yeah, so it's probably a good thing. I don't know. Who could know? I don't know. Kind of weird. Kind of a weird deal. But kind of wanted some trick-or-treaters. But so I posted this on Instagram earlier. And I'm getting some different results than I feel. So I bought the Starburst candy, like the little candy to hand out for kids for, Halloween, right? So for me, I don't like the fucking yellow Starburst. I just don't. I don't like them. And I feel like the biggest jip, if you have those little 2-pack Starbursts, like it's just little 2 Starbursts and a little thing, is if you get one of those and you open it and they're both yellow, I feel like that's just like the biggest fuck you from like the Starburst Corporation or whoever the fuck owns them. They're like, yeah, put 2 yellow, because I never get 2 reds. I never get 2 of the pinks. It's always like a pink and a yellow, a red and a yellow, a red and a pink, or 2 fucking yellows. And people are like, that's the best option. And I'm like, you people are sociopaths. Yellow Starburst. I mean, they're all good, but 2 yellows? That's a kick in the ass. I don't know. I posted that at Tendrink Instagram. If you're not following it, at Tendrink. So let's see here. Does anybody else posted on that? But people are like, that's the best option. I'm like, no way. No way. That's let's see. Someone wrote literally the best outcome. Ugh. And then someone said lemon is the best. No. There's only one time where lemon and lime is the best flavor, and that's in seltzers, and that's my opinion. And people are gonna be like, the lemon lime seltzers are gross. If I buy a multi-pack of seltzers, I'm gonna go for the lemon and lime or grapefruit first. Let's see here. Worst. God, what's that one? There's one flavor of seltzer I find just disgusting. And it, what is it? What is it? Fuck. Let me look it up. There's a seltzer called Shotgun Seltzer, and it was the most disgusting thing I'd ever had. Shotgun Seltzer variety pack. And I find that if I Shotgun Spike, so there we go. If I drink that flavor now, I just find it disgusting all the time. What are the flavors? Let's see. Become an insider. No, thank you. I had them. Oh my God, what is it? Show me the flavors. What kind of stupid fucking website do you have? People with their stupid fucking websites now. First of all, why do we keep having to do this stupid fucking workaround bullshit where if you go to an alcohol website, you have to say whether you're 21 or not? Who's that for? There's nothing, most of them are just like yes or no. It's fucking dumb. Fucking dumb. God dang it. Where's this stupid? Let me see the image. Oh, here we go. Bramble. The worst thing I've ever drank in my life is a Shotgun Seltzer Bramble. It smelled like dirty, wet Cheetos, and it didn't taste much better. I don't know. Are you 21? No. Like, who the fuck is putting that? Stupid. Kid's got his mom's credit card. He's ready to buy a Pabst Blue Ribbon fucking beanie because it's dope. I've got Pabst Blue Ribbon on my mind. And he's stopped by the "Are you 21? Yes or no?" Fuck in dumb. 57 minutes after the hour. Let's go see what the results are. Oh, we're starting to get some results in. I see it. It took a little while. Where are we at here? So in the mayoral race right now, Jesus, it still says 0% reporting, but Tim Keller is ahead with 44,896 votes. Manny Gonzalez has 18,717. And Eddie Aragon, 12,290 with 0% reporting. Huh. Let's scroll down to, do we have, cool. What the fuck stupid shit is this? There's no stadium? Really? How stupid. This is so dumb. Shit's dumb, y'all. Shit is dumb. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of shit being dumb. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. Can we really not get the stadium here somewhere? Let's see. The storm sewers, yes or no? Stadium bond. Wow. With 0% reporting, we have 66% no, 34% yes. I don't know. Hard to know what any of that means. Wow. No. Almost 50,000 people. Wow. I need to text a couple folks. So if you're a big fan of the stadium, it's not looking good. Not looking good. Oh, man. Let's see. What does this one say? See, if Keller gets over 50%, then we don't have to fucking have a runoff. And that's like, did I put the cheering thing on it? No, I did not. But I do have this sound.
There's always room for family.
Just so you know. Just so you know. All right. I think that's all I want to do on this fine Tuesday evening. mainly what I really wanted to do is I wanted to try out some equipment that I've purchased, and some new setups, and hopefully everything sounds really good. And I wanted to give you guys something to, like, listen to and enjoy. But yeah, you guys have a good Tuesday, and hopefully everybody got out and voted, and hopefully it all goes your way. Hopefully so. But yeah, you guys stay safe, and with that, we are 10 drink minimum.